Hi, I'm Mark, this is Mark's Tech Vlogs on YouTube, and today I'm going to bring you guys a review of the SwitchBot Contact Sensor. Now, I've reviewed quite a few contact sensors on this channel before, and if you've been around for a while, you'll know that when I reviewed the Eve one, I said that as soon as I finished that review, I was going to get rid of that and get the SwitchBot one because the battery life on the Eve one was appalling. That was a few months ago, and I've been using the SwitchBot one ever since. So we start at price. This is priced at $29.99, which is actually up there as one of the more expensive contact sensors out there. However, SwitchBot do regularly have sales on their website and on Amazon, so make sure you always check both, and I do have a SwitchBot voucher code below you can use as well. That means I only paid £20 via Amazon. But let's continue and get on to design. So as with all contact sensors, this comes in two parts. There's a kind of main body, and then there's a magnetic part that kind of breaks contact. That second part is much smaller. Both parts are white and rounded, and the larger part has a status light and a button on it. Both parts are easy to attach using the included sticky pads, and you can remove the cover of the larger part to replace those two AAA batteries without ruining the sticky pad. The design is nice and modern, and if you're going to put it on a door or window frame, it'll just blend in. It's not as small as the Aqara one, but it is still reasonably small. So let's get on to spec. So this device connects via Bluetooth. That means if you do want to use it with third-party services or use it out of home, you are going to need a SwitchBot hub. It's actually the same if you've got the Aqara one. You do need an Aqara hub for that to work because that operates over Zigbee. With SwitchBot, however, this can be any of their Matter compatible hubs. So it could be the Hub Mini with Matter, or it could be the Hub 3. I already had one of these, so I didn't need to pick up anything extra. Using it with a hub will allow you to access it out of home, but also allow you to use it with third-party Matter compatible services. This includes things like Apple Home, Home Assistant, Google Home and Alexa. It can be used to alert you just when contact is broken, and it also has a brightness sensor built in. It's worth noting that this brightness sensor is not exposed to Apple Home. It's only usable in the SwitchBot app. If you want to, there's a few other settings where you can tweak how long it's left open before it notifies you and other things like that as well. Within the SwitchBot app, you can also see logs for this device. So let's talk about installation and setup. So installation is pretty simple. You just pop the batteries in and then you open the SwitchBot app and hit the plus at the top. You find the contact sensor and you follow the instructions. The instructions for setup are pretty easy and involves checking if it's in the right position or not. And much like a few other contact sensors I've reviewed, I've actually put this on my record player. The final thing to do is add it as a Matter accessory in your SwitchBot hub. This will automatically add it into your third-party app of choice, so for me that's Apple Home. You can then do all the usual stuff like assign it to a room. So let's talk about using it, because that's what I've been doing in the last few months with Apple Home. And the way I use it is pretty simple. I've got an automation that says when contact is broken, switch on the power to my record player and my speakers. That's because when I break contact, I usually want to start listening to some music. If I want to play the same record I've already got on there, I can just open it and close it again. Generally, I found that it responds within about a second, and not once has the automation failed. Everything has also consistently stayed online as well. Of course, there are some other features as well, and I've tried to test those for this review. That includes playing around with the light sensor and also seeing if you get notifications from SwitchBot when contact is broken, and these also work well. The main thing, however, where the light sensor could be more useful is if that also got exposed to Apple Home. SwitchBot have also recently launched their first presence sensor, and this also has a light sensor built in that doesn't get exposed to Apple Home. I think it's a bigger deal with the presence sensor than the contact sensor, but it'd be nice to have that exposed. Of course, this is something that could be updated with firmware. And then finally, because my big bugbear with the Eve one was battery life, we should say, well, what's battery life like? So SwitchBot state those three AAA batteries should last for up to 3 years. And in using it for the last few months, I'd say they're probably going to be about right. Of course, this will always depend on how often it gets used, but it's good to know that battery life is really holding up so far. For context, the Eve one I had got through 3 batteries in a year. So all in all, what's the verdict? At an affordable price when it's on sale, I think this SwitchBot contact sensor is really good. As an overall, I do think the Aqara one is better, but which you pick up is probably going to depend on which ecosystem you already have. So if you already got a SwitchBot hub, it makes sense to get a SwitchBot one, and if you've got an Aqara hub, it makes sense to get an Aqara one. I will put a link below to the Aqara review as well. However, if you want to automate something based on contact, this is a really great addition to your smart home. If you've got any questions about it, stick them below and I'll answer those for you. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys again soon.